Well, pre-production is the most laborsome portion of any record. So luckily, every band that I've worked with has some sort of recording environment. Some of the artists that I work with do not. They have their instrument, they have their lyrics, their talent. But a new band I'm producing called Way of Man from Indiana. They're nice guys. They will come and pick me up on a Saturday and take me out to Indiana, and we will experiment in their studio where nobody's paying anybody. And we can figure out all of the nuts and bolts of the arrangement before we get into a $100 an hour recording studio. So to be honest with you, once we're in production, hopefully we're not figuring out very much. Hopefully what we're doing is executing what we have all well agreed on is what we want to be the arrangement or the core or the solo or any of the lyrics or anything like that. Really shouldn't come up as a judgment call in the middle of a production in a $100 an hour studio. So the way I work that all out is in rudimentary Pro Tools studios in people's basements, where they feel a lot more comfortable and willing to participate and try new effects and play it an octave higher and here do a mandolin part, and who knows what could happen, but at least there's no pressure. And even the most experienced people will collapse once they feel like they have to rush because the next client's coming in or they're running out of money or anything like that. So I frankly don't like to be that creative in the actual studio if I can help it. There are some artists who are so spontaneous that all that stuff's going to get thrown out of the window anyways. But I do have a propensity to be very methodical. Whether I'm teaching or making a record, I do not like doing anything without a plan, personally. I don't feel comfortable with other people's time and money in the studio if we're not all in agreement. And I like I said, I have the philosophy to where I will not disagree with you to the bitter end. I will make my point. I will tell you my objective thoughts on each part of the arrangement. But your face is on the cover of the record. You are going to have to go play these songs in front of people for untold numbers of years, not me. So if there's a situation where there's a conflict or any type of quandary where one person says, I want to do the guitar solo, and this has happened a million times. We've got a studio musician who wants to do the guitar solo, and they're here for the express purpose of doing the guitar solo, and they nail it. And I say on the talk back, we're done. That was it. I'm having shivers. And the singer says, I want my guitar player to try because he's the guy who's going to do it on the road. And he's been in this band for a really long time. So why don't we let him try? And based on the philosophy I've told you, we are going to let that guy try. But for how long and to what end, if you've already got a really good track? So as much as in the studio you have to mix sounds and blend instruments, you have to mix egos and blend these egos together. And I'm sure, as you well know, having produced many more records than I have, it's much about being a psychologist. People have to feel like there's some sort of leadership going on in the studio, and the producer is the most logical person to provide that leadership, to be on time, to be prepared, to be the person who has a plan if you don't. And so that's what I feel my role is.